We are live on YouTube. And um make sure that's just turn that off before it's yeah, there we go. Um welcome to another weekly mystery value picking. And um what we're gonna say, it's mystery and it's a value card picking. And values are one of the most important things that we can remind ourselves of when it comes to staying on target with what we want to create, with what our true passion and purpose, mission, vision is as neurocreative leaders. And heart-centered, because when we're heart-centered, we are sensitive, we can be caring, then become over-caring if we're not careful, using the head brain to decide things completely based on how we feel is not necessarily useful. And so values are the way to that I find to flip the script and create a sense of passion and purpose. And when those words have been lit up and connected to personally and deeply, then they have even more power over our emotional reactions and responses when we're reminded of that rather than what's going on outside of us or inside of us with whatever story we have. So, without further ado, here we go. And oh yeah, if you're here and you get an insight, feel free to uh, drop it in the comments and or share a question or a thought or a feeling. And when you share, you declare, you actually improve your um, memory for that thing, and that creates neuroplastic changes, neurocreativity changes as well. So it's all useful, it's all important, and it also shares the love, shares the insight with other people algorithmically. So we want to use those algorithms well so that we're sharing awesome things with each other rather than stuff that causes shutdown, fear, segregation. So um, here we go. Here we go. It's the eight of hearts, and it is trust. Ooh. So trust being what? Trust. What does trust mean to you? It's also written in green, which is a sense of inside to out, going providing, sharing, giving, um, inspiring others, or presenting, presenting trust, sharing trust, providing trust, giving out trust. What does that mean to you? So, yeah, let us know what you get from that. And um, trust is a fascinating one for me because it's only really recently that I realized something, even though studying around the mind and where we often may hear others or myself even say, don't feel trust. I don't, I didn't trust myself in that situation, or uh, I don't trust that person anymore, or that thing. And what that energy says when we say that, well, not just energy, but the vibe of the words, the tone, the feeling, what it doesn't really matter what we say, but it's the feeling that's attached to it, the story that's attached to it. So often feeling a lack of trust feels like empty, feels like segregation, feels like uh, doubt, fear, connected, um, all those things. Whereas was an interesting insight that came to me um, through there was yeah, it's a fascinating. insights that come from there's a YouTube channel. I can't remember what it's called. I'll come back to you on that. I'll write it in the comments. But it was a really interesting concept about how if if we're feeling like there's a lack of trust and we're focusing, it's all about focus and attention. If I'm focusing on this concept of lack of trust, and I believe that there's a lack of trust, then I'm trusting. I'm trusting in believing in the lack of trust. So it's all it's like if someone's feeling not confident in something, they're feeling confident about not feeling confident in it. It's down to belief. Belief is attachment. Believing is attachment. Trust. There's a sense of trust always. Otherwise, we would we'd be focusing on something. So if I'm trusting in the sense of feeling a lack of trust in something or myself, I'm leaning into that. I'm attaching myself to it. I'm believing it. So just notice that for a moment because that means we're always trusting something. There cannot be a lack of trust. There can only be a direction of focus on, say, a lack of negative or a negative focus or whatever that may be. Negative doesn't even mean right or wrong. Negative is a signal. It's just there's no initial meaning in anything other than what we believe is happening. When we believe it, we're attached to the meaning behind the thing. So negativity, in itself it's just a signal that oh yeah, I'm feeling like I'm lacking in that right now. So what do I want to trust instead? Because if I stay focused on that, then it's just draining me. So coming back to trust, what do you want to trust? What do I want to trust? I want to trust in the signals that come up when I am doubting. When I doubt it, I can go, oh, thank you. That's a useful piece of information that I don't have to buy into and now I can learn to make that signal that's this big get smaller and smaller and smaller until it's just a little, oh, there's the little bit of doubt. It just gets smaller and smaller the more I focus and work on it. And I've spent a lot of focus and energy noticing that. There's a whole decision-making framework that I put together that's somatic that helps me and others to decide things, noticing resistance, noticing lack of doubt, and actually not buying into it as a problem, as a not as a negative as a problem, but as a useful signal to go, okay, how do I get back on track with my focus and my energy? And it might be because my body's tired and I'm hungry, I need sleep, or just a moment, or grounding, or a shower, or something, just to bring the energy back up, rather than the story of the doubt being the actual attachment to it. So I'd love to know what you're getting from this already, but um, yeah, trust. Trust is so important because it helps us stay knowing what we do want to trust in. And there is no such thing as as real lack of trust in something. We've made a meaning out of it. I've made a meaning out of the things I don't trust. If I'm not trusting that, then I'm leaning on something else. What am I leaning on? Uh, so where are you leaning? What you're trusting in, what do you want to trust in? Because if there's signals coming up that you don't trust in it, then that's maybe the area to fill in the gaps to start feeling that you can trust those signals, that you can trust yourself, you can trust in what you want to do, and all those wonderful things. So that's trust for me is like it's always happening. It's like gravity when we're alive in this world and this life. Gravity's pulling us down. We don't have to think about it. Trust is always the case. It's always there. Where do you want to direct your trust? That's all it is in any moment. Um, of giving it out is to me is like sharing. For me, providing trust is to put out information like this, to just come from the heart, to just go, this is what I'm up to, this is what I do, take it or leave it. If you want to take it, then lean in. Do you trust it? It's trust obviously is like this belief takes time to build up and get stronger bonds. When suddenly it's not there, is it a lack of trust, or is that's just gone away, or was it a built up bond that was made up in the first place? And there was no difference from when the belief wasn't there to when there is now. Going off a tangent, but going back to providing trust is to share information that feels like congruent and is either like lived experience, someone that's done something with lived experience. That's a way to know that you could build up a sense of the trust in that knowledge, or there's science, what the observed patterns of the entire world, which is only one piece of understanding trust. Then there's intuition and guidance, inner guidance and knowledge coming from the subconscious that we're always trusting in when because the subconscious will go, oh, I'm feeling doubt right now. And they don't even know why. So there's subconscious and intuitive trust that gets to be sat with, that no science can help with, because it's a unique personal personality story that's connected to a unique lived experience that only we as individuals can experience. So trust on the inner, darker shadow side. Then there's the outer, lighter, sun bright information coming from outside. It's like general knowledge. There's common sense, which helps us to see what we can do. There's like common sense is less scientific because it's less rigorous, but it's worth questioning all of them and also taking what you want from all of those. Yeah, overall science, specific science, smaller studies, self-studies, common sense, and intuition all make up this sense of trust. So I'm sharing that because that's more, I'm sharing what I believe about trust to see what you get from it so that you can trust yourself more. So this is where this is coming into play for me, is I'm providing this knowledge to see what you want, or I'm just happy providing a sense of what I trust in now that I've learned that. Um, then what else? It's gain providing. It's almost like it's fixed. This give and take is kind of stuck together. So if I'm putting out stuff that helps people build a sense of trust in me, I'm also then seeing where I can trust in the people that want to hear that, um, and build up a sense of where they're at. It's like with marketing, it's when there's a good quality service to provide, they talk about the user wanting to build up a sense of know, like, and trust, especially when it's a personal or one-to-one um, uh, interaction between two people, because it's not just a product that can be just tried and tested and left alone. There's multiple dynamics with resonance of personality and the way people talk about things and the way people read into things and personal experiences on types of personalities, whether they trust in those personalities or not, and all that sort of stuff. So this give and take is also when you're a service provider and it's a unique situation, like an artist building up or wanting people to trust in the art or buy the art, to value the art. Um, it's also the service provider wanting to know, like, and trust the user, the consumer, the partaker of the service, because there's no point in having people that don't really value the service either, because that doesn't really work either. So when it's flipped, when the script is flipped, it's always a case of looking out for and not just buying into weak bonds of who's valuing what and why and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, so providing a service is building up trust in others and providing knowledge, providing practical understandings, and I think that's about it really in terms of there's business and there's personal relationships. You know, the trust is only really there if you are giving it out yourself. You can't expect anyone else. I think that's what happens sometimes is it gets to a point where it's expected, like an expectation um that becomes potentially imperfect or a perfectionist version of what's expected from some people in a relationship, whereas actually it's it's just all made up. And it's always up to us as individuals, as leaders of our lives, to give the energy out to connect and forgive. It's like forgiving people for being imperfect consistently builds and connects with trust. It's forgiveness and trust kind of go together because it's about noticing there's attachments and beliefs and an equal amount of not consciously or noticing the subconscious attachment, the beliefs, and then not consciously not believing in them so much. So yeah, said a lot. I said a lot. I wonder what you get from this. Highlights, comments, questions. If you want to, you can like and subscribe or all those fun things that can help spread this algorithm for heart-centered neurocreatives and leaders that want to get projects out there and and get through the procrastination, break down those barriers to being in action. Um, Rejection sensitivity is a massive one at the moment, and I've suffered it for a long time, and um, I've realized that I was trusting in the rejection sensitivity, um, so I don't buy into that anymore. And use these cards to flip the script and remind myself. As soon as I saw that, I was like, yes, I provide my own trust to myself and outwards. And as soon as I remind that, I'm back to what I want to do with my passion and purpose. So if you want to know more about the inspired decision-making processes, the 4R framework, recognize, refresh, rehearse, result, which instantly helps me and others to get back onto their day, their project, their life mission, and or the other services that I provide as well, which is to get projects out there on a longer term scale, going from from scratch to startup in business, creative businesses, or what else? Anything in between that. Just getting into creative flow and out of creative blocks for well-being purposes. It's the personal power, the four P's: power, play, process, and projects. Any of those are personal power, the way we play with things, the way we get into structure and process, and and get those projects out there with support, because support is what's necessary. I can't do anything without being checked in and reminded of what to do next with all the neurodivergent ideas that fly about as being creative. Anyway, that's it for now. You can get the 4 R's, you can get the 4 P's, and you can get your projects out there or get into flow. So that's it for now. Have a great day. Reach out. There's stuff in the comments in the description for more details about what I do, and have a lovely day.